Last class we already learned problem with in jobs and the two machines. Today we learn the problem with the in jobs and the three machines. In the case of the in jobs three machines, first we have to convert the in jobs three machines to the in jobs two machines. And how to convert it, that we are discussing here. Let there are the n jobs, each of which is to be processed through the three machines. That three machines we are calling as A, B, and C. In the order, first it is processed through the machine A, then processed through the B, then processed through the C. So it is lastly processed through the C. If AI, BI, and CI are the processing time for the ith job on the machine A, B, and C respectively, I is equal to 1 to n. Then the problem is to find the sequence of performing the job on the three machines A, B, and C in the given order ABC, so that the total elapsed time will be minimum. That means we have to arrange the jobs in such a way to process through the three machines ABC that our elapsed time will be minimum, at the same time idle time to be minimum. Now, in order to find the optimal sequence of the n jobs, following steps to be executed. Before the execution of the following steps, that means we have to convert the three machines to the two machines, three machines to the two machines. Before that, we need some checking. If that criteria is satisfied, then we can only convert the two machines to the three machines. Then we can find out the job sequence in which order it will be performed through the three machines. This is the given table. From that, first we have to check. Step 1, find minimum A and C. We have to check the minimum of AI and CI and the maximum of BI. That means the second machine, we have to find out the maximum of that. And A and C, we have to find out the minimum of that. Two things is there. Either minimum of AI greater than equal to the maximum of BI, or it can satisfy the minimum of CI greater than equal to BI. If these two conditions, either one to be satisfied, if it is the satisfied, then we can say that we can convert the three machines problem to the two machines problem. What we have to do? First, we have to find out the, for the machines A, find out the minimum of AI, and for the machine C, also we have to find out the minimum of CI, and we have to find out for the machines B, which one is the second one, maximum of that. Then we have to check the inequalities. Minimum of AI should be greater than equal to the maximum of BI, or minimum of CI should be greater than equal to BI. That's criteria we have to satisfy, either one. If it is either one, it is satisfied, then we can move to the next step and we can convert the three machines problem to the two machines problem. If one or both of the above conditions are satisfied, then we replace the three machines by the two fictitious machines. That means arbitrarily we replace these three machines by the two machines. That two machines we are considering as a G and H. And what would be the value of processing time for the G, and what would be the value of the processing time for the G, that we can calculate here. We are considering the two machines G and H, which corresponding processing time is given. GI is equal to AI plus BI. That means the time consumed for the jobs in the machine A and machine B, we are adding that, we will get the time processing time for the machine G, and by adding the BI and CI, we are getting the processing time in the machine H. That means after converting that, we apply our whatever we learned in the in jobs into machines. That we can do it. Where GI and HI are the processing time for the ith job on the machine G and H respectively. Otherwise, the machine fails. That means whatever the conditions we learn, if it is not satisfied, the conditions it is not satisfied, then we cannot proceed and we cannot solve that type of the problem. Now determine the optimal sequence of the n jobs for the two machines G and H using the Johnson's algorithm for the two machines that we already learned. If none of the inequality in the step 1 and step 2 are satisfied, this method cannot be applied. That we have to reject that the problem. If it is not satisfied, that the inequalities. To explain this problem, we are considering an example. Find the optimal sequence and the total elapsed time for the following sequencing problem of the 5 jobs and 3 machines on which the processing time in hours is as follows. Here we are considering the 5 machines, 5 jobs and the 3 machines, that each and every job passes through the 3 machines in a sequence ABC. First process in the machine A, then machine B, then machine C. J1 to J5, the 5 jobs and 3 machines. And these are the execution type in the machines A for the jobs, machine B for the jobs J1 to J5. These are the execution time in the machine C for the jobs J1 to J5. Solution. First, we have to find out the minimum execution time in the A, minimum execution time in the C, and maximum execution time in B. Then we have to compare. Conversion of the 3 machines into the 2 machines. First, we have to find out the minimum of AI. What is the minimum of AI? 2 is the minimum of AI. And minimum of CI is 5. And maximum of B is 5. So it is satisfied on the C and B, that one. And maximum B is equal to 5, I is equal to 1, 5. Since Ci greater than equal to maximum is satisfied, first condition, minimum of AI not greater than equal to maximum of Bi. So we learn either one to be satisfied, either minimum of A greater than equal to maximum of B or minimum of C greater than equal to the maximum of B. Here minimum of Ci, I is equal to 1 to 5 greater than equal to maximum of Bi, I is equal to 1 to 5 is satisfied. Now we can convert the 3 machines problem to the 2 machines. And what would be the execution time for the H? 3 plus 3 will be 6. 8 plus 4 is equal to 12 for the machine G. And 7 plus 2 will be the 7 plus 2 equal to the 9 for the job 3 in the machine G. 5 plus 1 is the 6 for the job 4 for the machine G. 2 plus 5 is the 7 for the machine G for the job J5. Similarly, we can find out the execution time for the jobs J1 to J5 for the machine H. Then for the 2 fictitious machines G and H, we have GI is equal to AI plus BI and HI is equal to BI plus CI as shown in the table. These are the, so 5 plus 6 is the 11, 1 plus 7 is 8, 2 plus 10 is equal to 12, 4 plus 8 is equal to 12, 3 plus 5 is 8. And for the machine H, This should be the G and this should be the H. This is the wrong. This should be the G and this should be the H. This is the wrong here. 6. This is G and this is H. Now G equal to, for the jobs J1 is the execution time 6, 12, 9, 6 and 7 for the jobs J2, J3, J4 and J5, and for the machines H, execution time for the jobs J1, J2, J3, J5 is 8, 12, 12, 8 and 11. Now by comparing this, the execution time for the machines and the with respect to the jobs, we have to arrange the jobs by using the Johnson's algorithm. Now see, the smallest time for the G is 6 and smallest time is not in the H. So first smallest time 6 for the machine G corresponding to the job 4. So job 4 will be start first. Job 4 will be start first. So at the same time 6 also appear for the job J1 and both have the value is the corresponding to the H is 8 and 8. So we cannot compare that which one is the greater. Both 6 is the minimum appeared for the job J1 and for the job 4. And for comparing, this is the tie case. So now if we compare what are the time execution in the machine G, both are the 8. So better first we are taking the process J1, start the processing first, then J4 the second. The smallest processing time in the given problem is 6 on the machine A and perform in the job J1, J4 in the beginning as shown below. So we can take J1 first, then J4. Then left, what are the left? J2, J3 and J5. So after removing the J1 and J4, we will get the reduced time schedule. The reduced set of the processing time becomes J2, J3 and J5. And for the machines G and for the machines H, we can find out which one is the minimum time. 7 corresponding to the J5, job J5 in the machine G. So J5 will come in the third position and we left only the job 2 and the job 3. The smallest processing time in the reduced problem is 7, which is corresponding to the J5. Perform on the machine A, J5 will be produced in the third column or the third position, we can say. Now the reduced set of the processing time becomes, or we can say the reduced problem, where the J2 and J3 is there. Now we can find out smallest time is the 9 corresponding to the machine G and corresponding to the job J3. So J3 will be appeared in the fourth position and left only J2 will be appeared in the last position, that is in the fifth position. The smallest processing time in this reduced problem is the 9, which corresponding to J3 perform on the machine A and J3 will be produced in the fourth column and J2 in the fifth column. Hence the optimal job sequence is the J1, J4, J5. So optimal job sequence is J1, J4, J5, J3, J2. Now we have to calculate the processing time, time in and time out for the machine A, B and C. Now we are converting the actual job sequence in the actual problem. Calculation for the total elapsed time. This is the given problem, and from that that machine ABC, that 3 machines problem, we already converted to the 2 machine. From that we already got the job sequence is J1, J4, J5, J3, J2. So this sequence we have to maintain. Then we have to calculate the time in, time out for the machine A, machine B and machine C, and how much time they are idle, that we have to find out. Now for the job 1, that is the first. When a job is start, that start time is the 0. What is the execution time? Time taken to execute in the machine A is 3. So 0 plus 3, time out is the 3. Now it is entered into the machine B in the 3rd hour. And what is the execution time? 3. So time out is the 6th hour. And as soon as the job 1 is complete in the machine A, it takes time the 3 hours. That 3 hours idle the machine B. That's why the idle time is the 3 hours. That 3 hours is the idle time for the machine B. Job 1 start in the machine B in the 3rd hour. Duration is 3. So it is time out is the 6th hour. And 3 is the idle time. Now for the machine C, as soon as the job passes through the machine B, timeout is the 6. So it is start the 6th hour. That means time in the 6th hour in the machine C. And duration is the 5. Execution time is the 5 hours. So 6 plus 5 is the 11th hour. So job will be complete in the machine C in the 11th hours. Since the job 1 start in the machine C in the 6th hour, so machine C is idle for the 6th hour. Machine C is idle for the 6th hour. Machine B is idle for the 3 hours. Unless until the job complete in the machine A, it cannot start in the machine B. Unless the job is complete in the machine B, it cannot start in the machine C. So machine B idle time is 3 hours. That 3 hours. And idle time in the machine C is the 6 hours. That is that 6 hours. Now we calculate the time in and time out for the job J4 for the machine A, B and C. Now as soon as the job 1 complete in the machine A, we can start, because the job 1 complete in the machine B in the 6th hour. So we can easily start the job 4 in the machine A in the 3rd hour. J4, what is the execution time? 5. So 3 plus 5 is the 8 hours. Now see what happened in the job 1 completed in the machine B in the 6th hour. 6th hour, but job 4 is complete in the machine A is the 8th hours. So unless until it is complete, we cannot start the job 4 in the machine B. So in the machine B, it would be start in the 8th hour. And job 1 completed in the machine B in the 6th hour. That means this difference is the machine B is idle for the job 4. So what is the idle time? 8 minus 6. That is the 2 hours is the idle time for the machine B. Now it is clear. Job 1 is completed in the machine B is in the 6th hour, but job 4 timeout for the machine A is the 8 hour, so it will enter into the machine B, or that is the start time in the machine B is the 8 hour. That 2 hours is idle the machine B. That's why 8 minus 6 is equal to 2 hours is idle machine B. Now here timeout for the job 1 in the machine C is 11. So job 4 entered into the machine C in the 11th hour. 11th, it is timeout for the job 1, and 11th hour is the time in for the job 4, so there is no idle time. And duration is job 4 duration in the machine C is 7, so 11 plus 7 is equal to 18, and job 4 for the machine B is 8 plus 1 hour. Job 4 in the machine B, 8 plus 1 is equal to 9 hours. Now we calculate the job 5 processing through the machine A, machine B and machine C. At the same time, we have to calculate the idle time. Now we can start the job 5 in the machine A in the 8th hour. Job 5 execution type in the machine A is the 2 hours, so it would be completed by the 10th hour. And again, job 4 completed in the machine B in the 9th hour. So job 5 start in the machine B, that is the time in the machine B is the 10th hour. But job 4 completed in the machine B in the 9th hour. So machine B is again idle 1 hour, 10 minus 9. Job 4 completed in the machine B in the 9th hour, and job 5 entered or time in or start time, we can say the 10th hour. So that difference 10 minus 9, that means machine B is idle 1 hour. And time duration for the job 5 in the machine B is 5. So 10 plus 5 is the 15 hours. So time out for the job 5 in the machine B is 15 hours. Now it is entered into the machine C, that means start time or the time in the machine C is 18 hours. 18 is the finishing time of the job 4 in the machine C, and start in time in for the job 5 in the machine C is 18. So there is no idle time. 18 minus 18 is 0, and duration of job 5 in the machine C is 6. So 18 plus 6 is equal to 18 plus 6 equal to 24. Now we move to the process of the J3 to the machine A, B and C. J5 is completed in the machine A in the 10th hours. So J3 will be start or time in the machine A in the 10th hours. And duration is 7th hours. So 10 plus 7 is equal to 17. So time out for the job 3 in the machine A is 17 hours. Again, job 5 completed in the machine B. That means for the job 5, time out for the machine B is 15 hours. But unless the job 3 completed in the machine A, it cannot enter or start in the machine B. So job 3 will be start in the machine B in timing is 17 hours. But job 5 completed in the machine B is 15 hours. So ideal time is 17 minus 15 equal to 2 hours. And time duration for the job 3 in the machine B is 2 hours. So 17 plus 2 is equal to 19 hours. And ideal time 2 hours. Now say job 5 is time out in the machine C is 24 hours. 24th hours. Now J3 will be start or time in for the machine C is 24th hours, and time duration is 10 hours for the job 3. So 24 plus 10 is equal to 34 hours. 34 hours, and there is no idle time for the machine C. Now we check and we calculate and check the idle time there is any is there or not, and also we will get the total elapsed time to complete the job J1 to J5 through the machines ABC. Now J3 timeout in the machine A, that is the time in for the job 2. So job 2 time in for the machine A is 17th hours, and time duration for the J2 is 8. That means 17 plus 8 is equal to 25. And J3 timeout in the machine B is 19th hours, and here J2 timeout in the machine A is 25th hour. So it will be time in the machine B is the 25th hours. So 25th minus 19, 25th minus 19 is equal to 6 hours is the ideal time for the machine B. Ideal time for the machine B. Now 25th hours time in for the job 2 in the machine B, and time duration is 4. So 25, this is for the machine B J2. There is some mistake is there. Some mistake is there. 25 plus 4. That should be the 29. Should be the 29. This is 25 plus 4. I have to check that data in the actual problem. Then I can say this is so 25, and ideal time is 25 minus 19 is equal to 6. That is okay. 25 plus 4 J2 for the machine B is the 4. So this will be the 29. Now entering time, see here. Now completion of the J3 in the machine C is the time out is the 34. So J2 will be start in the machine C. It's 34 and duration is 8. So 34 duration of the job 2 in the machine C is 8 hours. So 34 plus 8 hours is the 42 hours. So there is no idle. 34 minus 30, that is the 0. Now we have to calculate the elapsed time. So all the jobs is completed here in the 42 hours. So total elapsed time is the 42 hours. Now we have to calculate the idle time for the machine B, idle time for the machine A. Now see, 25 plus 4 is equal to 29, and this is 34 plus 8 is equal to 42. So these are our calculation we have done. Now we have to check the 42 hours is the elapsed time, and ideal time for the machine A. For the machine A timeout for the jobs J2 is 25. After that, it is waiting for the next lot of the job, and that J2 job 2 is completed in the machine C. That is the timeout in the machine C is 42 hours. So ideal time for the machine A is 42 minus 25 hours, and ideal time for the machine B is, it is timeout job 2 in the machine B is 29 hours. So 42 minus 29 is equal to 13 hours, and sum up these ideal hours. Ideal hours is 3 plus 2 is the 5, 5 plus 1 6, 6 and 2 8, 8 and 6 is 14. So 13 plus 14 is the 27 hours. and idle time for the machine 6 is the 6 hours. Now we move to the final table. This is the final table, and from here we are calculated our elapsed time and the idle time for the machine A, B, and C. That whatever the completion time, that is the time out for the last job J2 in the machine C, that is our the total elapsed time. And idle time for the machine, that is the time out for the last jobs J2 in the machine A, minus from the difference from the time out in the machine C. So 42 minus 25. 42 minus 25, that is the 17 hours is the idle time for the machine A. And idle time for the machine B is equal to time out for the last job in the machine B is 29. So 42 minus 29 plus these are the idle times for each and every job in the machine B. Sum of 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 6. So you'll get 13 plus 14 is equal to 27 hours. And idle time for the machine C is 6 hours only for the job 1. So 6 and plus 0 is the 6 hour. This is the end.